Dear colleague, welcome. It's Dr. Jack with this week's video blog post. And this is part two of the topic that I started last week, was how to make New Year's resolutions successful. And because change is difficult, I talked about the six aspects of change that a person needs to define, starting with what? What do you actually want to change? And then moving on to when. For example, our lives are so busy, we have to know when we could fit that change in, because most change will take more time, at least at the beginning. Where will the change occur? How will you implement it? And then importantly, I ended up last week talking about with whom. Because if you have a sister or brother in arms, or a group of people who are dedicated to making the same change as you, getting up early, 5 in the morning to go jogging, that will make your success that much more likely to stick. Now today I'm covering number 6, the why of change. Because change is effortful, we really need a very strong inherent reason or reasons in order to motivate us during those hard times of implementing the change. Because there are going to be times where, for instance, we don't want to wake up at 5 in the morning when we really don't have to, because our lives are probably pretty good. But in order to make a change, we do have to kind of move beyond just the everyday habits that we've established. So today I want to share with you a very powerful technique developed by Mr. Sakichi Toyoda, who is the chairman of Toyota Motors. And this is a technique developed for business, but it's now very commonly used in personal change. And it's asking the 5 whys. So whatever it is that you come up with, like, what do I want to change? I want to lose weight. I want to start jogging. Whatever it is, ask yourself why. What is the underlying reason? And then when you get that answer, you ask the second why. And then you keep asking the why to get down to the foundational reasons. Now, as human beings, we all share the same drives. They might differ, between individuals. I might be very strong in one and you're stronger in another, but we all share common drives, right? And we are creatures who are social creatures, right? We're communal creatures. So a lot of our drives are social kind of drives. We want a feeling of belonging and of community and acceptance. And also related to that is our need for love, both to be loved and to love others. And even below that, kind of even more foundational, is our need to feel like we are lovable, that we deserve it, right? Sometimes we go through life and, we want to get the big house, the big whatever, make a lot of money, because we feel like really in the foundation there's something wrong with us, like we're damaged goods that we're not good enough, right? And so you need to kind of look at that. Or the other way is like, do I have the ability to love? It's not just I want to love, but do I have the ability to love other people? So, a lot of the wants that we have in our lives, the changes we want to make, they're really based foundationally on these drives that we have. Now, these drives, they're not good or bad. I mean, in general, I would say they are positive. But sometimes when we don't understand what drives us, we may take courses of action that are really maybe not in our interest, or maybe there are better ways of addressing those foundational needs, such as of belonging, of feeling like we are lovable, right? So I already mentioned loved and belonging and community. Another drive is one for security, for ourselves and for our families. So for example, some people really strive, like they're not going to be happy unless they have $1 million in the bank or whatever, because maybe they grew up poor and they always had that sense like, life is insecure, that I may be in a position of not having enough. Again, there's nothing wrong with wanting security. It's good to recognize where our desires for change really originate. There's a couple of more I wanted to talk about. Status. That one is also related to us being social creatures. Not only do we want to not be at the bottom of the heap, we often want to come off and be like, you know, we're high status, and that's expressed in different ways. And again, there's nothing wrong with wanting high status, but sometimes, you know, if you realize about, you know, a change you want to make in your life that it's related to status, you might say, well, maybe there are other ways that I can achieve status. Maybe it's not the size of my house or the model of my car, but maybe it's the charity work that I do or whatever, right? So again, drives are good in general. It's when we don't know about them that they sometimes could lead us astray. Another one is our sense of mastery. So, you know, for instance, among physicians, you know, I was always impressed among the trauma surgeons that I knew, how they're always striving for mastery because they're confronting different types of trauma, traumatic events, and they're always pushing the envelope on again, doing better by the patients that they're trying to save. So I think we all inherently have that sense of mastery where we want challenges in our lives. We don't want to be bored. We don't want to be doing the same old thing, right? And another kind of human drive that we often have is one for expression. And it's very much also along those same lines. We don't want to be bored. We want to be able to express our unique kind of special sauce that we have. So again, whatever change that you're looking at, really start asking why. What is it that motivates my desire to lose 20 pounds, for example? And then keep asking why as many times as it takes till you feel you get to the bottom of it. Now, recognizing these drives, they're not somehow unconscious to us. It's that simply we don't often take the effort to really ask ourselves where our desire for change originates. And then once we do understand where it originates, we may choose to do exactly what we wanted to set out to do, the change we wanted, or maybe we'll alter it, or maybe we'll decide, well, you know, maybe my motivation for making that change is not strong enough at the moment, and I will defer it because I'm likely not to succeed. So again, that is the sixth and perhaps the most important aspect of change, the why. So signing off for this week, it's Dr. Jack. All the best to you, and please be in touch. Respond to the video or email me at drjack@americanphysician.com. Take care. If I don't talk to you before the New Year's, Happy New Year to you. Take care. Signing off. It's Dr. Jack. Thank you.